So, listeners, earlier in the week, I saw a post on Instagram, and it was saying as to what the modern day rap Mount Rushmore might be. And I didn't make this Mount Rushmore, but I thought it was interesting, and I thought it might be interesting to talk to y'all about it. Now, me and Spence saw it, and the four names that they had on this Mount Rushmore were Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, and the fourth name, which was the most interesting, was Kanye West. Now, Lau, you didn't see this list. Hearing that just now, what are your thoughts?
I'm not mad at it. I don't. Who would you replace Kanye with? I know you're not going to replace Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. I mean, if you replace them, the conversation's over. Have a nice day. But
Right.
well, I know Kanye is probably the controversial one because you named him last. I just can't imagine who would replace him with. You know, when we're talking about quality music and accolades, who can you replace Kanye West with? And I understand somebody might be like, oh, you could put, you could put Lil Mosey in there. You could put
So Lil Mosey.
Lil TJ, and because that's what these people like. Like,
Well,
all right.
Here's the way I saw it. Like, looking at that list, I don't really, everything you said about Kanye is true, right? So let's, forget that. But my problem with him being in this list is that as far as eras go, I don't think that's really Kanye's era. You know what I mean? Like, he was out like before them. Like
So
that's you know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
He's still relevant. Go ahead, Spencer.
He is relevant, but I mean, like, did he? Go ahead, Spencer.
Well, I was gonna say this, right? I agree there where it's not his era necessarily, but as a huge Kanye fan, I can say this. I mean, technically speaking, his best album comes out in 2010, which is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which essentially is probably it's a very
subjectively his best album. Some people think.
I mean,
well, no, it's number two, if anything.
Subjectively, some people think Graduation is a better piece of work.
I mean,
some people think
Hot Girls on it.
Some people think College Dropout is a better piece of work. Some people think Late Registration was a better piece of work. So let's say subjectively. I'm not saying that you're wrong, Spence. Well, I'm just saying it's subjective.
We can rank his albums now.
Listen. All I'm gonna say is this: if it isn't his best one, it's number 2 to Late Registration for me. Yep. So, but at the end of the day, I will say this: I think in terms of what a full Kanye album was, I think that was the pinnacle of Kanye's completeness in terms of what his music was. Right, from just the lack of better terms, the graduation, from him graduating from one style of making beats with College Dropout all the way to getting to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And we can't forget the album that came before that is probably 808s and Heartbreak is probably one of the most impactful albums to hip hop due to the fact that Drake it allowed us to get the Drake that we got in so many words, right? But my opinion is I don't believe he should be on that Mount Rushmore, similar to what Nigel's prescription was of that, hey, his career he has a 20-year career, which is very hard to mimic for many artists. And Kanye, the thing about Kanye is that I can say is that he is a person that he puts out stuff that it's hard to digest in the moment. And then 2 or 3 years later, you realize he's created a new wave of something of influence. But excuse me, like my thing is that when we're talking modern rap, and I'm talking who's the most to me, it comes down to like, okay, we have lyrics, but we also are talking, okay, Mount Rushmore. These are the most influential people, and I totally agree. Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake all deserve to be there. And for me personally, I'm still trying to figure out who that fourth person would be. It's not going to come from a person that's lyrical. For me, it would probably be either the Migos or the Future, and I only say that just because
that's interesting.
And I say a reason why I say that is because when we look at music today, right? Atlanta runs everything, and Atlanta's been running music for like the past decade practically. But when you look at Future and the Migos, those two artists in themselves,
And
the whole
you got to give Thug respect too.
exact Thug as well. Thug deserves his respect as well. He even dropped Slime Season 2 Deluxe Edition, I think, or one of those things. He dropped the deluxe over the weekend. Like, my thing is, it's like when it comes to those artists, like the landscape of music as a whole, sound derives a lot from them. It derives a lot from Future. It derives a lot from the Migos. Whether it's the da 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 style or the full embrace of auto-tune, right? Like those things were prior to Future, prior to Thug, like it lived. You had Kanye doing, you had other artists doing it, but when you had the influence of Drake, who sung on records, and artists that only could rap, and they realized, hey, I can take this thing that Future does, the thing that the Migos kind of do somewhat with the auto-tune, and say, hey, I can take this and influence it into my style and craft what we have these artists as. Because let's be honest, most artists sound the same, but most of these artists sound the same because their style derives from either the Migos or Future to some extent. No matter how we cut the pie, they're just not lyrical rappers. And that's the reason why, for me, you can interchange either one of those for me, and I would have no problem with them being on that Mount Rushmore.
I think Future is actually a really good pick for the 4th spot, only because of the influence that him and like that type of rap has had. And he was like somewhat at the forefront of that, especially around like 2010, 2009. You know what I mean? So
yeah, right.
So like I wouldn't be mad at having Future in there. I was thinking about it, but I don't think it's a good place for the 4th, like would be Big Sean. But I was just like, I don't think he's had the influence that the first 3 have had. So it just feels like it's like his name doesn't fit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like on this list, and shouts out to Big Sean, but it's like on this list, he does not fit. So I wouldn't be mad about having Future there.
Yeah. Like, and I'm a big Sean fan. No pun intended. I'm a big Sean fan. But yeah, I don't think he would fit the bill for it. He does have like I think he's had like a really great career overall, like a lengthy career especially. Ups and downs, but of course it happens to every artist. So, but yeah, for me it is Future. I would have to say it has to be Future. Like Future gave us what year was it? 2014, 2015. He put out like 3. I think it was Monster, Dirty Sprite 2. Like he literally controlled like in 1 year. Yeah, 2015. Like he controlled like the whole landscape of music for like 1 year, and then still like the residual of his run was still there. So like, I mean, I'm not mad at Big Sean. I just think, like you said, it's just the influence thing in comparison to like someone like Future, kind of like the Migos. So
absolutely.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, absolutely. But like, yeah, I don't know if you guys, speaking of rap, right? Like, I'm not sure if you guys listened to it, because I know we talked about Conway's album coming out last week. He actually did an interview with Bootleg Kev recently, and it came out over the past week. I was wondering if you guys had a chance to listen to it by any chance.
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing. I enjoyed the interview. Shouts out to Bootleg Kev, because he's interviewing modern rappers and some old school acts too. So he's a good listen for everybody for rap music.
Yeah, like it definitely is. Like I will say this though, like from listening to that interview, there were some interesting things that I took from it. One being that his conversation on Griselda kind of growing apart, because of like though we look at Benny, Westside, and Conway as kind of a group in a sense, they're just individual artists on Westside's album, on Westside's label. I was wondering, like, just hearing that, do you think, because like he said, like now everybody's too busy they're very busy in their own respects, right? Do you feel as though after hearing that, do you think what's to come from them will like it? Let me ask this. Do you think that after hearing that, do you believe that there will be less collaborations the further we go along? And because I think them as a unit was a thing that made us as fans really hone in on them overall.
I honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I like them individually more than I like them together. I like their songs. Like I like the the onesie twosie songs they put out on each other's project when it's all three of them. I think that's cool. But to have for them to have like a trio album or something like that, that's not really. I'm not really excited for that. Not saying I want to listen to it. Of course, I would listen to it, but I just like them individually. I really do. I like Benny on his own. I think Benny's a monster. He's looking like Conway said it best. West Side is the brains, Benny's the star. I'm the silliest with the bars, blah blah blah. And I'm just paraphrasing that line. He didn't say exactly like that, but anyway, I just like them individually. It doesn't bother me if they're not together on songs. I don't think it's the end of them. I think it was kind of taken way out of context, that headline. He was just kind of saying like, hey, we all got our own shit going on. It's not like, hey, we're beefing. Conway even said in the interview, hey, me sending those tweets out there kind of
threw the fans off.
Yeah, threw the fans off, kind of created a bad narrative. But realistically, it's not that they're apart. They're just doing their own thing. Like Conway got his own label going on. Obviously, West Side, he got his shit going on with Buffalo Kids, the fashion shit, his
Fourth Rope,
all that. You know what I mean? And Benny doing BSF. And plus Benny, he was working with Drake, working with other artists. He's taking, is hinting that he might work with Lil Baby and Lil Durk. So like they have different paths. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make music together again. I just don't think it's a big deal that we won't see another trio album or project as people may think. Because if you think about it, Griselda was always a label. It wasn't like a group. And people just kind of looked at it as a group, but it's really a label. West Side is the top guy. You have Benny and Conway under that, and they have their own subdivisions under that. Like it was never, they weren't like the Migos. The Migos, that's a group. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you said it. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
He just kind of summed it all up. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the way I think about it. Like whenever I hear songs where they're all rapping together, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's a nice little treat, that they put on that album for us. But it's like, honestly, I'm not going to lie. When I listen to their projects, I don't expect to hear them all on the same songs all the time because I know that they are all individual artists and whatnot. Now, exactly like Lyle said, it'd be different if they're the Migos, but they're not. So, yeah, no, I feel the same exact way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, I think, I guess for myself, I understood what he said. I understood what he said because, I mean, at the end of the day, we all know they're all individual artists. And I think that was a thing that made the allure so much better to some extent, where it's like, oh, all three of these guys rap. They rap great together, but they're also like hard on their own individual path. I think for me, the only thing that it kind of like it dimmed the light on for me was just that we probably won't get a What Will Sheen Gun Do 2, which I thought was a really great project by them, and definitely at the time we definitely at the time we had saw during that conversation about a year and a half ago where they were like, yeah, we're probably the best label out X, Y, and Z, and I mean now they're proving it. So it was just something I wanted to get you guys your takes on, but overall I think. It's a treat when I get all three of them on a song together because as a fan, for me, it's a fan favorite of like being an original Griselda fan, right? Compared to like as Griselda is slowly starting to branch out and you have Drumwork, you have BSF, you have Griselda as a whole as a label, and you have Armani Caesar and so on and so forth. So it's just interesting though, but yeah, it was overall I can say it was a good interview. He definitely was able to shed light on some things. I think the way the interview ended was very shocking because they actually found out because I think Bootleg Kev was about to ask him a question about DMX, and then they found out that DMX had passed away live, like in real time during that interview.
Wow.
And they kind of and after that they were just like, I don't even think there's anything else to really say. There's nothing, you can't really continue after that. But he did say he was on he had recorded some songs for X's album. So hopefully we get that treat as well at some moment in time. I mean, eventually this stuff will probably come out. It's just a matter of time. So, but Yeah, like I don't know. It's one of those things. But other news in music, Moneybagg Yo dropped the album. I think people should go check it out. It was a really good album. It kind of, to me, it was a really good album. It just shows similar to what we were talking about with like Griselda, where you have artists like someone like Yo Gotti. It reminds me of like, oh, someone like Yo Gotti is doing really well when you have artists like Moneybagg Yo that are slowly but surely he's submitting himself within like this new era of rap music. So it's something to look out for, as well as Jim Jones. He dropped his own digital coin, his own cryptocurrency called CapoCoin. I've looked a little bit into it on Instagram. It looks like Jim Jones is trying. You can tell Jim Jones is definitely trying to make his way into this in this tech space. So it's something to look out for as well. So just want to leave you guys with those two things as well.
We had a weird situation on Instagram the other day. I guess entertainer is the best way to describe her. Little girl, Lil Tay was, they have put that some bad things have happened to her, and apparently, supposedly she's been abused by her parents and whatnot. And, definitely want to give a shout out to her and hope everything's well. It seemed kind of odd as to how they gave us the news. So the situation is definitely a little different, and we just hope that everything is going well for her.
Yeah, it's because I looked at I did see some things on Instagram, and I did see like it had something to do with child abuse, and she's been taken away from like her parents now, and so many other things. Like, I mean, I think there's more that needs to be seen in terms of like what's going on, because I think I read one of the posts, and I think they were asking fans to donate money so she could help get a lawyer or something to that nature. So, I mean, hopefully everything turns out for the best for her. It's unfortunate something like that has to happen to a child, especially when we found out initially about Lil Tay, because she was known for like running around flashing money, X, Y, and Z. And then we found out like, oh, it's her brother was the one. I think either her brother, her mother, or someone was like the one pushing her to have this image so they could kind of gain clout off of it. So it's unfortunate to see something like this happen to I guess, a lack of better terms, a child star or a child influencer, I guess you could say, or entertainer. So yeah, entertainer. So, but it's I'm not gonna say too much more, but yeah.
I hope Lil Tay, I don't know the young lady's real name, but I hope that she's going to be doing well from a respectable standpoint. I hope that she's safe, and I hope that she's in better care than what was reported. As far as her Instagram career or whatever like that, I have like no comment on it. Just stuff like that, I just feel like it's not needed to divulge in, because most people should know what it is. So I just hope that the young lady is in better care, and it's a shame that she has to go through that. And I don't think any parent should be, beating their kid viciously or nothing like that at all. So,
right. Do we have anything else for the listeners, y'all?
Before we close out, I think we've covered since last year about the George Floyd situation, and just wanted to mention that the verdict finally came in on the Chauvin case involving the cop that was responsible for the death of George Floyd, and he was found guilty. So we just wanted to give the listeners just to cover all bases and kind of that full circle kind of be closed. The verdict came in, and he was found guilty, and I'm not sure what I don't think he's been sentenced yet in terms of what he'll be getting, but I mean there'll be more news to come in terms of what that details. So
I hope they throw the book at him. That's my comment for that. But what I want to say before we get off this podcast is, listeners, April 30th, me and my boy Jack Suave, we were dropping our little project, Guitars and Bars. So everybody just tune into that. It's a little project. Nigel's on that mother effer. You know what I mean? The whole project, except for one track, is produced by me and Garroy. So yes, we made our own beats. All the songs are written by us. No ghostwriters over here. All the songs are mixed and mastered by us. Home engineering. So April 30th, we dropping that shit. And that's what I want to say. So everybody look out for that.
Why are you lying to these people, man? You know I wrote most of that shit for you.
Yeah,
Say nah. Yeah, April 30th, everybody go check it out. Guitars and Bars with the coziest of cozies and loud and well, go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say
Gilroy.
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Gilroy. Yeah,
Cozy-
shouts out
yeah,
to the dog.
Yeah, so definitely check out for that. But trust me, any bars that you like off of there by Loud, I definitely wrote those. So,
That's crazy. That's a crazy claim to make. Any bar that he wrote that you like, I wrote that. All right. I don't really have much to say about the George Floyd case. Definitely great that, justice is being, served in that situation, and they're going to sentence him in mid-June. So that's going to be something to watch and see as that happens. Listeners, you can follow us on Advise Highly on Twitter, Highly Advised Podcast on Instagram. Please follow the YouTube. We like seeing your comments, and we like talking with y'all. It's nice. Drink your water. Spence didn't say that this week. I was waiting for it.
I was about to. Trust me, I was going to get to it. I was getting to it.
All right, go ahead. Do your thing.
Well, listen, I was just going to tell them, wear your mask, keep your sanitizer, and make sure you drink your water. You got to have your skin clear. You got to be hydrated. You don't want to walk. You don't want to walk around this world dry like Masvidal after a nap, like
evaporated.
Yeah, exactly. Feeling like SpongeBob talking about I need water. You don't want to be that guy. So that guy or gal. So yeah, drink your water, wear your mask, keep yourself sanitized. Eat good, and until next time, you'll get a chance to talk to us again. The dynamic duo, the tag team. The measuring stick, the world tag team champions of the world.
What's the name of the tag team?
The General Consensus.
Hey, there we go.
The first tag team, well, technically second tag team to main event at WrestleMania, but the first cool tag team to main event at WrestleMania.
This ain't your Dudley boys, man.
Yeah, we're not the Dudleys. Yeah.
Listeners, this is the best hip hop and MMA podcast that exists. You're not going to find one that is better than us. Please follow us. Please support us. You have been highly advised. You guys have a good one.
You've been highly advised. Shasha.